Dr. Paul Cleveland with Boundary Stone.
And I'm Caleb Cleveland, his son. Today, we're here to help you try and navigate your way through a confusing world, and we're going to do things a little bit differently. Today, I'm going to act as essentially the interviewer, and we'll just see how that goes.
So sounds good. Let's do it.
All right, so today we're going to talk about scarcity. So let's start with, what is scarcity?
Scarcity is one of those things that economic concept's really important, and I think most people get it wrong. If you think about it, Caleb, are there things that you would like to do that you haven't been able to do?
Well, yeah.
Well, what has kept you from being able to do everything that you want?
Time, energy, money.
Well, so you see, that's what scarcity is. In other words, you only have 24 hours in a day. So if you're going to achieve something, you got to make a choice about what's most important to you that you want to work on. And your other resources that you have available, the economic means that you have at hand to work with, those are always limited relative to your wants and your desires and purposes. And so that's, when economists talk about it, that's what scarcity is.
All right, so give us an example, if you will.
Okay, well, Adam and Eve, they were put in a world, and there was everything they needed was there. All the stuff, and all the physics to it, aerodynamic issues were there that would allow them to go to the moon. But they didn't even put forth the effort to do that. And so, why? Well, scarcity.
I never thought about that. But, that's Adam and Eve. We haven't actually, I feel like we've overcome that scarcity, right? I mean, we've been to the moon already.
Well, yeah, we've been to the moon, but we haven't been to Mars. And not only that, while we've been to the moon, we certainly haven't settled it. Now, having gone to the moon, we've discovered what it's made of. 70% of the moon is made of various metals, but we haven't settled the moon where we're mining those metals and putting those metals to work for us. So that hasn't happened yet. So there's so many things that are unknown to us. Information is scarce. Our knowledge about things are scarce. And so the way economies work, economies are in process.
Well, that makes sense. I'll grant you knowledge. That makes sense. Time is scarce. But what about food? I mean, we see lots of food at grocery stores.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true. But when you walk into a grocery store and you see the food all, in every aisle and full of inventory, that gives an illusion of abundance beyond, what's needed. That's what it is. It's an illusion of abundance because what the grocer is doing is serving the purpose of bringing buyers and sellers together. So if I ask you the question, do you grow your own food, what would you say?
Well, no.
All right. So you're not a farmer and you're not growing your own food, but you're relying on farmers to grow food for you. Well, how are they going to get that food to you? Do you know any farmers?
Maybe one, but
see, here's the problem. To bring buyers and sellers of things together, that's what businesses are about. And so grocery stores, they have to guess what people are going to want and when they're going to want it. And so they're trying to stock their shelves with produce on the basis of what their customers are going to want at any moment in time. And at the end of the day, that's a bit of a guess on their part. So there appears to be an abundance of food, but I got news for you. If production were to stop and the distribution chains break down for a week, you would see the food sources vanish very quickly out of those grocery stores.
So are there any resources that aren't scarce?
No, in fact, resources, by definition, economic resources, are always limited relative to our wants. Now, there's some things, air and maybe sunshine and like those sorts of things, but they're not economic goods per se because they're just there. And so an economic good are those things that's like information, things that we can put to use to help us achieve our means. And those are always limited relative to desires and wants.
Well, that makes sense. Hopefully this has helped clear up some issues on scarcity. Again, my name is Caleb Cleveland.
I'm Dr. Paul Cleveland. We're with Boundary Stone, helping you navigate your confusing world.
And again, if there's any questions that you might want to ask Dr. Paul Cleveland, just send them in, and I'll try and ask them next time. Thanks. Bye.